Hello and welcome to this Slippy Limpets video. Pretty excited tonight because we are going to fish a deep water rock mark. I'm out of breath already and I barely even started walking. It is 6 o'clock, high tide's in an hour. Got about an hour's worth of walking and setting up to do. And then hopefully we'll get in amongst some of the cod. Now I've packed as light as I possibly can. It's not that light when you've got two rods, two cameras and a load of power banks, etc. But it's all I can do really. The other thing is it's 5 degrees and I've taken off all of my jackets and everything because last thing I want to do is be absolutely sweating when I get there. And then if I've got all my clothing on, all my warm clothing, then I'll cool down too quickly and won't feel the benefit. Well, we're here. I know I said I was going to take some layers off and it wouldn't be too hot, but it's a very steep hill. You got to come up right at the end there, and I just had a massive McDonald's on the way in, so yeah, I'm feeling it. But place is empty. There's no one here. There's a little bit of a swell running, which is fine because I'm totally safe on these rocks. We're just at about high tide, and then we're going to fish the tide down. I've fished here once before in the winter with a bait kit, and it was alright, yeah, had a few fish, a couple of doggy and some codlin I think, so hopefully it's going to be similar tonight. Thanks Penn for my new handle, came within 2 days and free of charge as well. Can I get better service than that? It's just getting set up there, I've got the rods out, kind of looking where I'm going to cast, and I had a quick shine on the water with my torch and noticed that there's a string of lobster pots right in front of us. Bit of a pain, don't know which direction they're going, so I think what I'm going to do is fish with one rod in one cast. If I get snagged up on the ropes, then there's no point in sticking the second rod out, so I'll have to pack up and move on to somewhere else. I'm also cooling down quite quickly as well now. This looks a bit cumbersome and heavy, but it's just filled with insulating and waterproof, so I'm going to stick a bit of it on because I'm cooling down quite quickly. So I've got silly hat, I've got some waterproof pants which are good wind protection, and I've got this which is a insulating layer, so I'll stick this on. And then I've also got my waterproof jacket as usual and another insulating layer. As I cool down more, which I'm inevitably going to do, then I'll stick the windproof on, and then that'll keep us nice and toasty. An old trick I learned from my mountaineering days: it doesn't matter about the walking, you can be cold then, but as soon as you stop, then that's when the real cold hits you. So it's better to put up with a little bit of discomfort on the walk in, and then keep all your good warm stuff until you get to where you need to be and you really need them. Enough talking, come on, let's get a line in. Since I've got two rods, I'm going to call one the big rod. Well, it's rated 7 ounces, so I'm putting a 7-ounce lead out, and I'm going to use a Pennel Paternoster on that, because the further I cast, the cleaner the ground gets here, I think. And then on the lighter rod, which is rated 5 ounces, so this is the wrong way around, I know, but it's rated 5 ounces. I'm probably going to put a pulley on that because I don't have as much line on the multiplier that's on it, and that'll be fishing in rougher ground. But It's only rated at 5 ounces, but it's got a good backbone. It's just because it's really got a really soft tip that it's such a light weight rating. We're going, it's on the bottom, it's so deep. Finally, a bait in the water. It's 7:30 now. Can't believe it, I got here at 7 o'clock. Anyway, there's a bait in the water. We're fishing. Come on, fish. Ooh. That was a little cod knock. Come on, you know you want this. Maybe it wasn't a cod if it's not coming back for seconds. Definite hit though, so that's something. It's better than the, watching the crabs nibble away at my bait. Yes! Just a little one. Oh. No way! I believe that's a whiting. Well, there we go. Our first whiting. Turns out they've got teeth as well. Who'd have thought? Let's get this one out. Bit of a cocktail this time of frozen black and fresh yellowtail. That splash down there, I think that went higher than it did further. Good news is I can fish here. I'll get the second rod out. I didn't hook up to the ropes of that crab pot. Oh. The bad news is, well, first of all it was good news, got my first ever whiting. The bad news is that there's whiting. And I know what their nickname is. I'm happy to have caught one, but I can live without catching more. We probably just pulled into a snag there as well. Oh. Actually, that feels better than the whiting, unless they get much bigger. Well, that's why it felt bigger, because it's a wrapped up codlin. And just to get hook in the tail and a 5/0 in the gob. There we go, hopefully they get bigger. Swim straight away. Right, so I'm getting the light rod out, which is a Gray's PZ match, which I picked up second hand when I first started fishing, knowing nothing about fishing rods. I knew that Gray's were an alright brand, but I think I paid 100 quid for it 10 years ago. It's light, very very flexible in the tip. It's more like a scratching rod, but it's actually, you fish some really heavy ground with it. It can handle it. I don't normally fish with it because it's 5 ounce casting weight, which isn't really enough for the swells, but it's not much swell today, so let's get it out. Pulley's with us, so tied up, or sorry, I haven't tied up, I've rigged up another Pennel Paternoster, and on that 2 5/0s as my Pennel setup, and one big frozen black that I folded in half and whipped up just so I can thread it on the hook easily. And there we go. Let's get this out. Now it's a multiplier, Daiwa SLOSH 20. I always used to fish with multipliers with braid on. It's been a wee while, let's say, so let's see if it don't crack off or chuck my rod into the water or something. Go. There's actually not much braid on this spool for some reason. When I used it last year, it didn't really have much on, so that's why I didn't really thump it that far. Not that I can cast very far anyway. No backlash, no crack off. Got a rod in the water. This is 50 pound Daiwa J-Braid. Oh, that is rough, that handle. Again, oh, straight through. Oh, hope we don't get a big fish on that. I should have tried it out before I came out. I'll survive. So that's the light rod in the water. It is so soft on the tip. You'll see if I get a rattle, it'll look like a giant fish. But it could just be a minnow. Time to get the big rod out. Go, that's a nice bait on there. Just 2 worms this time. Now I'm going to welly this one as far as I can. Check it's running okay. Well, it's a brave new world. 2 rods out. I wouldn't be surprised if I missed bites while I was baiting up the second rod. That's pretty much why I normally only fish with one. So I found, although you've obviously get less bites, you don't miss as many while you're farting around with another rig or bait or anything like that. So yeah, it's such a flat, calm night and the conditions aren't very fishy. I thought I'd bring 2 out and treat myself. At least it'll keep us busy. So 2 casts, 2 species, 1 target species, but tiny. Hopefully one of these is going to pick up a bigger fish. I actually really want it to be on the Gray's rod because it's such a bendy rod at the tip, and you just feel like you're fighting a monster even though it's a flatty. or a tiddler size. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking to the camera and watch these rod tips. Well, the light rod's been out for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Got a pretty constant bend in the tip, so I reckon a crab's got it in a hole. But either way, it's not had a bite for 40 minutes. And the big rod's been out for about half an hour. That's had out on it either. Fishing just seems to have died. I mean, I had those 2 fish within 20 minutes earlier on. Now it's been, well, nearly an hour since, so yeah. Maybe top of the tide was the best time here, but still plenty of time yet. Well, it's definitely in a snag. Snapped one of my 5-0s and took my rotten bottom. No, I didn't take the rotten bottom, it took the lead. So yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, much heavier ground closer in. I don't know if you saw on the camera the bend in that that rod, but it's flexible to about here, and then the butt is stiff, so it can easily handle this ground. So got on one yellowtail, it was pretty much dead, and a frozen black. Just whip that on nicely. Nice neat bait for me. So that's the light rod back out. Bloody GoPro batteries. So that's the light rod back out. Wellied that one as far as I could really, but I had to thumb it down because I was running out of braid on the spool. Really need to buy some more braid. Doesn't matter though. It's probably a bit further than the rough ground, although it is quite close to the creel. Look at the rod tip bend. Only small, whatever it is. They're getting bigger. Well, the fish are getting bigger, but my recording skills are crap. I hadn't had my GoPro recording for that, so probably saw a little bit and heard a little bit on this camera, which I apologise for, but hopefully you could see the bend in that rod. It's mint. That was out for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. That big rod's definitely been stripped now, but I'm going to just put another piece of black onto this light rod and chuck it back out. Yeah, kick sensitivity up another level. late. So it's midnight, and I've been here for what, 5 hours now. Admittedly, I didn't start fishing until about 7:30 by the time I got everything set up, but yeah, I'm gonna give this 10 more minutes and then I'm done. These fish are frustrating us a little bit. And that last bite was a real good one, but just couldn't connect. 10 more minutes and then that's it. Well, it's 1:20. I'm back into the car. I waited 10 minutes, like I said. Actually, I waited more like 20, but I had no more bites. And when I brought my my hooks back, quite tired. When I brought my my rigs back in, the hooks were completely bare. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't wait any longer. It's been an enjoyable night. We've had a few fish on the shore. I've had a new species, which I can't believe I've never caught, but I haven't. Fish weren't the biggest, but it's better than blanking. And what a night to be out, you know. It's one of those crisp winter nice nights, and even the stars came out on my way back. So yeah, it's been really enjoyable. I hope you've enjoyed it too, and if you have, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment. And until the next one, tight lines.